Welcome. I'm gonna skip the long intro and get to the point. What is Hyperlink Blocked? Theory 1. Hyperlink Blocked is freedom. Spamton is motivated by a desire to gain freedom. The freedom to call his own shots, the freedom to live in the real world, the freedom to escape the entity that controls him. And he knows a fellow freedom lover when he sees one. So when he meets Kris, he knows exactly what to say to butter him up. If you've lost control of your life, then you just gotta grab it by the silly strings, and I've got just the thing you need. That's Hyperlink Blocked. You want it. You want Hyperlink Blocked, don't you? Kris is in an even worse situation than Spamton because they have no control over their life. They can only control their body for short periods of time, and even though they can rip the soul out, they can't rid themselves of it completely. Eventually, they must return it to their body. So if Hyperlink Blocked is freedom, it makes sense why Kris wants it so badly and is going to extreme lengths to get it. Hyperlink Blocked is freedom. That was easy, except it obviously isn't freedom because Spamton says the word freedom on several occasions. I was only ever in it for the freedom. Kris, you're gifting me my freedom. You think making frozen chicken with your side chick is gonna let you drink of that sweet, sweet freedom sauce? He doesn't say I was in it for the Hyperlink Block, so clearly, whatever censors his words doesn't censor the word freedom, which makes Hyperlink Block something other than freedom. It's probably related to freedom, but isn't literally the word freedom. So let's move on to Theory 2. Hyperlink Blocked is Hyperlink Block. A hyperlink typically refers to a link that takes you to a web page. There are hyperlinks to the description of this video, and since spam emails usually want you to click on some sketchy link, it makes sense why Spamton says hyperlink block. But maybe Toby Fox is being clever, making us think hyperlink block is just a censored version of some other word when it's meant to be taken literally. Hyperlink blocked means hyperlink block, to block a link, the link the player has to the red soul, which controls Kris's body. When you first boot up the game, the mysterious narrator of the character select screen says, "Are you there? Are we connected?" This is because the player is connected or linked to the red soul. If only Kris could sever that link, they'd be able to control their body while keeping the soul. The only problem with this theory is this line from Spamton. "No, I get it. It's you and that Gucci mama. You've been making, haven't you? You've been making Hyperlink Blocked. And now that you have your own supply, you don't need me." If this theory is correct, how can you make the ability to block the link that controls you? The way he refers to Hyperlink Blocked implies it's a substance of some kind, which brings me to my last theory. Theory 3. Hyperlink Blocked is determination. To understand this theory, we must discuss Kris and their shenanigans. They're able to resist the control of the red soul long enough to remove it from their body. They can just walk around without a soul and be completely fine. That's an amazing power, but how can they do this exactly? Well, there is precedent for this happening in the Undertale Deltarune universe. After all, at the end of the Genocide run, Kara reanimates their corpse and shuffles around through sheer determination. They died ages ago, so they're completely soulless. Kara's speech implies that they used the determination they siphoned off of Frisk to reanimate their corpse and destroy the world. Kris, more impressively, is doing this all on their own, meaning they're the most determined human we've ever met. I mean, the sample size is 3, but that's still impressive. So how can Kris resist the player and persist without a soul? Sheer determination. But it's still not enough. As determined as Kris is, they can't live without a soul forever. Eventually, they have to return the soul to their body. If only they were determined enough, they could outright sever the connection the player has to the soul and live freely. Going back to Spamton, I believe Hyperlink Blocked is his corrupted way of saying the ability to block the link that controls you. He literally means Hyperlink Blocked, it's just that the mechanism by which you block this link is determination. Let's read the next part of Spamton's line. "You think making frozen chicken with your side chick is gonna let you drink up that sweet, sweet freedom sauce?" Determination is an actual substance that you can inject into your body, so you can definitely make it. Somehow, Kris forcing Noelle to kill everyone in the Cyber City Dark World makes determination. But how is this exactly? Again, there's precedent for this happening in Undertale. The route in which Kara becomes stronger is the genocide route. That's the only route in which they siphon enough determination off of Frisk to come back to life and wipe the world clean. My human soul, my determination. They were not mine, but yours. And since the Snowgrave route is the genocide route for Deltarune, it follows that Kris is doing a similar thing with Noelle. They aren't determined enough on their own, but if they can make Noelle stronger, they can siphon determination off of her. Anytime Noelle kills someone, the game says Noelle became stronger. It's the exact same language Kara uses at the end of the genocide route. Together, we eradicated the enemy and became stronger. HP, attack, defense, gold, XP, love. Anytime a number increases, that feeling, that's me. Okay, so maybe genocide runs increase your determination. How exactly do they do this? It's because the genocide run is hard. That's it, that's the reason. The Genocide run requires you to kill every monster in every room.
Oh my god, bro.
That's an insane amount of grinding. And what do you get for your efforts? A grade A guilt trip. All the monsters are terrified of you and they beg for their lives when you're in their presence. When you go to Snowdon, it's completely empty. All the boss battles make you kill characters that you become attached to. It's genuinely unpleasant. The only pleasant part about the Genocide route is listening to these bangers. It's very easy to stray off the path of the Genocide route into a neutral route. All it takes to fail is for you to miss one monster or to spare one boss. In fact, after a certain point, all monsters become immediately spareable. Even if you kill everything in your sight, if you don't sit there and grind every single room until every monster inside it is dead, you're only doing a neutral route. And then there's a Sans boss fight. It's the last obstacle standing between you and that sweet, sweet lore. You have to sit there for literal hours grinding his boss battle, memorizing all his attacks. And even after beating him, you have to wait like 5 minutes for him to fall asleep so you can finally kill him. This is the Genocide run in a nutshell, and you have to endure this for 5 hours. At least that's how long it took me. There are so many opportunities to quit, so many obstacles standing in your way, so many reasons to reset your save file and play a normal pacifist run. Seeing the Genocide route to its conclusion takes dedication, it takes determination, and that is how Kris uses the Snowgrave route to create determination. In Undertale, it's not exactly explained how, but somehow Kara possesses/attaches themselves to Frisk and influences their actions. The more Frisk kills, the more control Kara has over them, and the more determination they can siphon off of them. Kris is doing the same thing with Noelle that Kara did to Frisk. They don't do the killings themselves. Instead, they force other people to do it. By forcing Noelle to endure, they're making her more determined to see things through to completion. The more determined Noelle is, the more determination they can steal. But things went awry when Kris made Noelle kill Birdly. Birdly was like her best friend, and after killing him, she couldn't take it anymore. She lost all the determination to continue and gave up, meaning the Snowgrave route was entirely pointless. Yay! Editing me here, there's one thing that I forgot to mention. So as you all know, in Undertale, all the save points say something to the effect of "you were filled with determination." In Deltarune, they make sure not to use that word in any of their save points. But the closest we get to that phrasing is in the Snowgrave route. When you've initiated the Snowgrave route and you go to this save point right here, it says, "You and Noelle were filled with power," which is very similar to "you were filled with determination." And since determination is just a generic substance that gives you superpowers like the power to travel back in time or the power to come back from the dead, determination is synonymous with power. So this save point might as well have said, "You and Noelle were filled with determination." Now in all other routes of Deltarune, this save point does not say this line. It only says this line in the Snowgrave route. In summary, Hyperlink Blocked is determination. Spamton calls it Hyperlink Blocked because he has a unique way with words. Kris can walk around without a soul through pure determination, but needs more determination to do it permanently. In the pacifist route, they follow Spamton's exact instructions to receive determination. In the Snowgrave route, they force Noelle to get stronger by killing people so they can siphon determination off of her. In both routes, their plans blow up in their face and they're stuck in the same spot they began. This may explain why Kris opens the Dark Fountain no matter what route we take. They hope that doing so will allow them to have Hyperlink Blocked. The only problem with this theory is it has a massive plot hole. So supposedly Kris is doing all this to receive Hyperlink Blocked to gain control of their body, while not being in control of their body? During all these sections, when we force Noelle to kill people, when we follow Spamton's direct instructions, Kris has no control over their body. The Red Soul is the one doing all these things, and since the Red Soul has the exact opposite motive to Kris, doesn't this invalidate the entire theory? No. I think we've all been exaggerating how much control the soul has over Kris. Yes, we have control over Kris's body during the gameplay sections, and yes, we have control over the choices Kris makes, but that's about it. A majority of the game is cutscenes and dialogue, and we have no control over these things. During the cutscenes, Kris can walk where they want and react the way they want. When we make them say something, we have no control over the way they say it or the specific words they use. Perish in the chill of absolute destruction, or flourish under the bosom of my hellish reign. Perish. The hell you say it so enthusiastically. Join our side, and I might let you scrub our royal toilet. Join. What? Don't say it so incredulously. In battle, we can order Kris to act, but we can't control the way Kris follows our commands. I mean, look at this option right here. Play dumb? What does that even mean? There are numerous ways Kris can follow this incredibly vague instruction. And most interestingly, we don't have control over what dialogue options are given to us. Look at this. If we had complete control over Kris, we'd be able to type in whatever we want to say to Spamton, but we don't. There are only 4 lines for what we can say. Who do you think is coming up with these lines? Kris. One of the options is our deal. If Kris didn't care about Hyperlink Blocked, why do they allow us to bring up the deal at all? It's because they do care. So looking at Kris's actions in the cutscenes and the dialogue options given to us, we can infer what their motive is. When they go to Spamton's shop, they tell Susie and Rouse to sit outside, which is exactly what Spamton asked them to do. Come alone. Right before they go into the basement where the Spamton Neo suit is, they do the same thing. They tell them to wait outside. They clearly intend to go down there and put the flash drive, or whatever it's called, into the suit, but they don't want their friends to get involved and possibly get hurt. When the Spamton Neo fight is over, they're visibly upset, regardless of how much the player makes them insist they're fine. The same thing happens during the Snowgrave route, right after Birdie dies. They're clearly upset with the outcome of the route. I bring this all up because yes, the Soul controls Kris for most of the game, but when Kris is in control, there's evidence showing that they are interested in Hyperlink Blocked. As for why the Red Soul is going along with this plan, I don't know. If the Soul is the player, then whatever reason you had to advance Spamton's subplot is the reason. But if the Soul is an in-game character, then I don't know. I don't know. I could probably make an entire video on who the Red Soul is, and frankly I'm tired. This is the end of the video, but what do you guys think? Do you think Hyperlink Blocked is determination or something completely different? Make sure to leave all your answers and theories in the comments below because I do read and respond to comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for all the support I've gotten on these videos. I mean, these videos have been way more successful than I ever could have imagined. It's so amazing that I get to make these videos on a game that I love, talking about all my thoughts and theories, and so many people want to watch. So once again, thank you. I'm gonna try my best to keep pumping out these videos on a semi-regular basis and improving little things with each video that I make. But that's all I've got to say. I hope you guys have a wonderful day,